Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Nada here. Today, I'm going to be sharing yet another personal story, one that started some changes in my life. I hope the family doesn't mind. So, Thanksgiving weekend of 2018, we were at my younger brother's house in Texas. All the family was together, and the old me. The old me, I used to really get irritated with anything, really, and mainly like common courtesy, and very big about common courtesy. Not as much anymore, but to me, it's always been, we're all different humans, we all have different views, but we should have the same common courtesy behaviors. So I used to get really annoyed and really annoying just thinking about certain things that were being done. And I was a type of person who I didn't really pay attention too much about what I was projecting to others or my vibes. I always took it as, or I always would expect others to just know, this is who I am. I'm just a tough little cookie, and I'm a little hard on my words, but I mean well, and I do love you, so forgive me. Like, I really just felt like this is just my personality. Why should I change my personality? Like, no, this is who I am. Just know the difference. Know if I'm really truly trying to be mean to you, or if I'm just being me. So, that weekend, I was having a lot of issues with myself, really, just being so negative and having really bad vibes. And an altercation turned into what I like to call my intervention. um, it really just, it turned into, all right, there's an issue. We've all seen it, and it's time we all let you know about it. So the family took that time to just let me know that I wasn't the best person to be around with at that time. That pretty much I just felt like I was that problem family member that people dreaded to hear that that person was invited to Christmas. And honestly, at that moment, I felt completely destroyed. I felt like I couldn't be deeper in the ground. I just couldn't believe that that's the impact I was leaving on my family. And it's not at all what I wanted. I really thought they just knew. They knew that, certain things, this is just my personality or my characteristic. And, but the love and respect was still there. I don't know. But when I was told about things that I had done or said, I can agree that it wasn't something I would be happy with myself, hearing that. So, like I used to tell my ex, is it's not about what you meant, what message you meant to give, or what you were trying to do or say. It's sometimes more about how that person took it. And if you're hurting that person, then I think that's when we need to step back and realize, are we really trying to do, are we doing what we really want to do? Did we really want to hurt this person? No. So then we cannot act this way around this person, or with anyone for that matter. If it doesn't feel right, if it's not received in that form, then maybe reconsider what message you're giving. So when I was told all this, and when I say I was completely crushed, and at first I felt a little, I just felt so confused, because in my way of showing love was in doing what I do best in my own like creative ways. Like, I use my creativity to show my love, like, or I put really a lot of dedication into what I do for you to show you love, or just being there for you. So in my opinion, I was showing love to my family in my own way, and I expected them to separate the two. Like, oh, that's just her, and this is love, and this is who she is, but she still loves us. And so, and it's really not like that, because at the end of the day, I did not want to be that crazy family member that you could not invite for holidays, or you had to be careful of where you placed her in the house so that she doesn't get disturbed or, pissed off with anything. And so when I realized that I was that family member, please believe I did everything I could to find a better way of how I was. And so I've mentioned this book before, and I'll mention it again. I first started to read Change Your Brain, Change Your Life by Dr. I believe Daniel Omen. And listening to that book really helped me to not be so judgmental on others and not critical on others. It really explains the sensitivity of our brain and how even a fall at age 2 or 3 or even later can really tweak something in there and mess with our personalities, and make us angrier or more frustrated or more paranoid. So listening to that book and hearing about how many different types of ways we can hurt our brain and how it can affect decision making and just personality traits, and it can do so much. You really can't point and judge someone or criticize them. Like, you really start to understand that, hey, something must have happened to that person to where they now believe X, Y, and Z. And who are you to judge or question it? Like, nobody. We all have our own issues. So that really helped. Another thing that book tells you is what you're doing to yourself when you are holding grudges, when you're assuming, just pretty much making up stories in your head because you have nothing else to do. I was that person. You would give me one sentence or one situation and I would not stop. I would be in my head thinking about all the different ways or reasons why that person did that to me or said that. And so it ends up just affecting you. Like, you're just in your head all day, pissing yourself off, thinking about these things, while the other person is probably not even worried or doesn't even know that you feel this way. So they're happily going to bed on time and you're not. So it's important to know what you're doing to yourself. And so what really just stuck on me was the fact that when you put your body in fight or flight mode, you start to retain fat and you mess with your insulin levels. And let's just say nobody is that important. Nobody is that important to make your body go through all that. And that's what you really have to think about. Is this person really about to make me retain fat? That's a big thing for me right now because, I'm on this weight loss journey. So yeah, when I started to think of things like that, I definitely wanted the power back. I wanted control of who was going to make my body go into that fight or flight mode. And so that book really gets down on the details of exactly what you do to your body and how bad it is to have those thoughts, how bad it is to hold on to things that are not even that important. So going back to my my intervention, at that moment, I apologized for my behavior. I didn't realize it was causing that much damage in my family or that image. I didn't want that image for myself. So I really wanted to change it. I really wanted to be a better person. I wanted to have better vibes, and now more than ever I understand like the whole vibes thing. Like it's so real. It really is. And I honestly noticed it first with my kids. I was starting to have a lot of issues with my kids. They were having attitude and talking back and just, never listening or just giving me a really hard time. And when I started to change me from the inside and recognize how my vibes are, and if I'm angry for no reason, I would try to check myself and cut it out quickly. I noticed the change in my kids. They were happier. They were listening more. They were more attentive to when I talked to them. Like they felt the difference. And so even though you may say, oh, I'm not thinking about that anymore, that doesn't bother me anymore, like if you truly haven't let that go, it's going to be in your body language, it's going to be in your vibes. And trust me, when people are aware of vibrations, they don't want to be around certain people, because it's very uncomfortable to be around that kind of those vibes, and now I'm very aware of vibrations. I'm very well aware of my vibes, and I try to make sure I catch myself if I don't feel that I'm portraying myself the way I would like to be. And another book that I listened to that really helped, it was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. So in that book, again, it's just really, and his language is very rated R, but it kept me entertained, and it makes me laugh because the way he talks to you, or talks in the book. And so that book's just really explaining how stupid it is to hold on to the little things and to let it stay with you for so long and let it bother you so much, and how it's so much simpler to just let it go, and sometimes you have to just envision it as the problem just sliding right off of you, because it's seriously not that important. Life, there's just so many other things that you can be concentrating on that don't have to be many of the things that we do make big, and make a big deal about it. Another thing that it explains in The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F is that the reason why we have Karens is because they care too much about certain things. Because there's people out there that they don't have anything to do. They don't have anything to do. They're by themselves. The kids are grown and out of the house, and they have nothing better to do but to concentrate on the certain things that they want done right or in a certain way. And so the reason why you find yourself caring too much about something is because you don't have enough other important things to care about. So another thing I started to do, I just felt like I had to get more busy. Like if I was too much in my head, if I was overthinking something too much, that just told me I have way too much time on my hands and I need to get busy. So then there were times when I would go to the gym twice, because if I was in my head too much, I have too much time on my hands and I need to get busy. So, again, just realizing what I was doing to my own family really made me wake up and start listening to books to help me, because we're not perfect. And I know I had issues, and there were things that I felt I didn't know how to fix. So starting with those two books, the Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, and The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, really helped me to not be so judgmental, so critical on people. It helped me to not overthink the dumb little things that were pissing me off. I'm so much happier now because I really don't hold on to anything. I let it go for many reasons, and mainly for health. It's just not healthy to hold on to that. It messes with your immune system. It really does. And I refuse to give up that power. And, currently there's things going on in our family where it's easy to realize that life is precious and things can change so quickly. And at the end of the day, that little problem that you had with your spouse, or that little problem you had with your dad or your sister or your brother, it's nowhere near as important as if you were gone tomorrow, And that's what I would always think about. If I leave tomorrow, would I be satisfied with the image I left on my kids, with the image I left on my parents, on my siblings, on the people that came in contact with me? Did I leave the right image, or am I leaving with unsaid words, that should have been said but weren't because of pride or your ego? And so I think that's why it's really important to read books. Honestly, I was never big on reading books. I hated it, but that's why I listen to them. If you can't read them, listen to them, because they are more interesting. if someone's reading it to you. And I've learned so much, and I'm so much happier. And there's no way, you can't change that. If you feel like you're that person that's always criticizing, even if you're trying not to, it's inevitable. Like, it naturally just comes. Then start catching it, start catching it and start changing that. Because it just feels so much better to be a person with good vibes. People tend to want to be around you more because you're always happy, or you're always in a good mood. I don't know. It's just, you can tell when someone has good vibes. You can feel it. And so I highly recommend those two books, as I feel they've done pretty good things for me in my life. All right, well, that's pretty much all I have for you today. My intervention started my change in my life, and helped me realize how I appeared to others. And I think that's something that we all should do. Like my man says, just be a good dude, and everything should be okay from there. Don't hold on to grudges. Don't criticize. Don't judge. Just always know that that person has their story, and you don't need to know it to understand them. Just, it doesn't affect your life, so let it go. Let it go. Like I said, I'm currently going through something with family that it just really helps me see how important it is to just be a good dude, and do whatever you can to get there. There's no excuse. If you're a person that's always criticizing or always talking negative, change, because it gets old. People get tired of hearing the same crap. And if you've noticed that you've lost some friends, or people don't call you as often, that's a good sign. That's a good indicator that you might be that negative vibe. So change. It's a lot better to be on this side of things. I definitely am more happier, and I truly can say, like, I'm not just pretending. Like, I am happy. I don't hold on to things. I don't let things disturb my mind anymore. I let them go. And that's it for me. We'll talk soon. Bye.